Hey, what's up? This is Electric Type. I've got another Wi-Fi battle for you. This one is against TrainerDash, who I met on Smogon forums, and this is actually the second battle that I had against him, because the first one I accidentally clicked run because I'm an idiot. So he decided to have a second match against me. I promised not to run from this one, and he leads with his forearms, and I send out Amber because she rocks, and he hits her with a dynamic punch, takes her down to 7 HP, and she's gonna hit herself in her confusion and take herself out. But I got my rocks up, so that was the important part. That's what Amber does. She just rocks, and I go into the Joker to set up some screens and start protecting my team and get things set up. But he dynamic punches, and it does a shit ton, like half, and that's way more than I expected. Joker's confused now from the dynamic punch, gets his light screen up, and then Dash switches into his Metagross, and Joker hits itself in its confusion. Now, I don't want to get confused and all messed up and everything, so I just go for the explosion, hoping it hits through the confusion. And I'm hoping it's going to take this Metagross out, even though it's resisted, but it only does about half. And the Joker faints. So that wasn't a very good run for him this time. He didn't get his screens up. And I'm down to 4 pokes. And he's got pretty much his full team. So I go into my newest Pokemon, Chubz. And I'm pretty sure he's going to switch out. So I don't go for the fire move. I go for the earth power. But Metagross is weak against both. So I'm not sure why he stayed in. No problem though, I don't like Metagrosses. But he goes into this other Pokemon that I absolutely hate. And this is like the worst Pokemon for my team. Like, everything is weak against it. And it can just set up on me forever. So I just tell the Chubz to explode. He blows up all over this Suicune. And that's going to be great for me, because that thing would have stopped my team, like, dead in its tracks. It cuts Chub's run a little short, but he still took out 2 Pokemon, and that's pretty good. He goes back into his forearms, and I'm going to go into my Royal Flush, because that's the only thing on my team that's going to be able to stop this. Now here I make a little bit of a mistake. I go for the Substitute, because I thought I'm used to having my Reflect up from Joker, but I didn't get it this time, and he's going to be able to break my sub. And it was kind of a waste of a turn and some HP, but just go for the Waterfall, because I know it's going to do a lot of damage. And it's going to be a 2-hit KO, I think. Well, he's got Stealth Rocks and stuff, so here's where I kind of messed up. I should have just went for the Outrage here, and I'd have killed him. But instead I go for the Waterfall. He survives on like -2. Dynamic punches, and the Royal Flush is going to get confused. And also taken down to like no HP. My light screen wears off too, so that was pretty much useless. And the Royal Flush hurts itself in its confusion. And this friggin' forearms goes to sleep, heals all its HP back, and now I'm in a pretty tight spot because I got a confused Pokemon. I don't think I can afford to switch because I don't have anybody else to really go to. I maybe should have gone to Flagon now that I think about it, but I just decided to go for the Outrage. I've got a pretty good chance of hitting through the confusion. And it works out for me because I get lucky. I get a critical hit, take this forearms out, and I'm looking pretty good now. I've got a good feeling about it. I don't like Machamps, So, you know, like, I'm gonna Machamp a bitch. Okay, so he goes into this Sceptile, Leaf Storms, and that's gonna be the end of Royal Flush for this battle. Now, I've already lost my Heatran, so I decide I gotta go into Gambit, and I've got a U-turn. But he goes for this Detect, and protects itself from that, and then Leaf Storms. But freaking Gambit is awesome, dodges that, goes for his U-turn, and that's gonna kill this Sceptile. I've never seen one of those in battle, so I didn't even know what it was gonna do. I figured it was gonna freaking sweep my team. But instead I go out into my Gravy as the Sceptile drops out of there, and he goes into his Gliscor. And I don't know if I outspeed this thing or not, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna go for the Earthquake. And he does outspeed me, he does Earthquake, and I know that Gravy can live one. Unless there's something weird going on, like Choice Band or something. But Gravy does live it on a 31 HP. And it's going to kill Gliscors all day long with Ice Beams. And I really like Gravy. He's pretty much my newest favorite Pokemon. It seems like he's real hard to predict because he's not used very often, and he's got like tons of coverage. Here he survives his Life Orb on 1 HP. And Dash brings out his Flygon, Jimmy 31428, and I'm pretty sure it's Choice Scarfed at this point because it outspeeds my Gravy. He locks himself into Dragon Claw. And since he's Choice Scarfed and Gambit is Choice Banded, I know I'm not going to be able to outspeed. And he's just going to take me out with a Dragon Claw. So that was a really great battle. It came down to what items our Pokemon had. If I had outsped him, he'd have died. But he outsped me and I lost. So great game. Thanks for watching, everybody, and don't forget to subscribe.